Welcome to Grenzo's Goons. As far as opening hand goes, yeah, I like it. We'll keep on this one. Not too bad. I don't know why. I've been trying to record with Grenzo, man. I've just been running into the meat grinder. And so hopefully this is good. We've got three, like, it's one of those days where I'm trying to record and I just keep getting these, like, nasty opening hands and I have to mulligan down to, like, five. And that's exactly what you don't want to do with Grenzo because like, Grenzo's really not set up for you to mulligan past that. Let's go to get the swamp down. And then anything else, yeah. So I just saw I saw three lands, and I'm like, yes, that sounds perfect. Let's do it. Anyway, but yes, welcome to Grenzo Dungeon Warden. We're playing Grenzo. Whenever Grenzo enters the battlefield, with X+1 counters on it. Then for 2 mana, put the bottom card of your library into your graveyard. If it's a creature card with power less than or equal to Grenzo's power, put it onto the battlefield. And our opponent's going to lead off with that Timber Gorge. Let's go to get down the mountain. We'll be able to go for a turn 2 Grenzo. Oh, yes. Yeah, we're going to get that down. Actually, the Smoldering Marsh will come into play because since we do have 2 basics, it'll actually come into play on tap next turn. It's going to get that crossed off. See if our opponent has any sort of removal. It looks like they didn't use it, so it looks like we might be good to go. Now we're playing against Surrak Dragonclaw. Teamer, Flash, can't be countered. Creatures supposed to control can't be countered. Other creatures you control have trampled. Bam. Let's see. Let's go and get down the Smoldering Marsh. Enters the battlefield untapped. Let's go and swing in for 2. I think that sounds pretty good. Yeah, but we're going to lose Grenzo on something. Yeah, well, let's go and swing it for 2. Why not? Need to be aggressive on this one. If they have a flash creature, they have it. We'll recast it off the Phyrexian tower, not worry about it again. All right, there we go. Put our opponent down to 28, and then anything else. Now we're going to go and pass the turn. Cover both commanders, free time. We can talk about whatever we want. That's going to be Grenzo. Now, as far as his deck goes, you may notice Grenzo has a big old key right there. You can see it wherever my mouse is. We're going to use that key to go start unlocking some dungeon cells at the bottom of our library. So in fact, we're going to go and go for it now. We're going to go for the blind fire off the bottom. What we can do is if we want to lash out 3 damage to target creature. Oh yeah, we don't have a creature to go for that. Excuse me. Let's go for a blind fire off Grenzo. Oh, Temple of the False God. Okay. And then draw into a mountain. Let's go and get down the Phyrexian tower. You know, we might need that sack outlet. Let's go and swing in for 2. Get that 15-turn Grenzo clock established. Bonking him on the head with that key. I like it. All right, we're going to go and swing in for 2, put him down to 26. This is going to be 4 total commander damage, and then anything else. Now we're going to go and pass the turn. I like leaving up Lash Out or just simply double blind fire activations. Now, some of the fun things about the decks, we have cards like Lash Out. Deal 3 damage to target creature, then clash with an opponent, reveal the top card of the library, put it on the top or the bottom. There's been something recently that I used in this deck that didn't work. And I'm trying to think how to describe it. Like, you're supposed to have the option of putting it on the top or the bottom, and it wouldn't let you do it. So, and I think Clash might be it. It's almost like there's some sort of bug. Let me put it that way. Let's go and get the mountain down. Hopefully our opponent starts making their land drops. Let's go and swing in. That's going to be Grenzo swinging in for 2. We are sitting at 5 total mana. Let's go and get down the Goblin. Yeah, why not? Let's just go and hardcast it. Let's have some fun. Our blind fires aren't going so good. And then anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn. Now, the fun thing about Goblin Machinist is that for 3 mana, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a non-land card. It's going to get +X+0, and you put the rest of the cards on the bottom of the library in a random order. So basically, it's 3 mana. Let's see if our opponent can't get some land going. You know, they need to get that blue mana. But with the Goblin Machinist, you can kind of set up the bottom part of your library. So, and plus, you know, it's a pretty cool looking Goblin card right there. I dig it. All right, drawn to Dragon Skull Summon. Let's go and get that down. Now we're looking at 3 mana for an activation off the Goblin Machinist. Reveal X, reveal a non-land card. Do we want to go and go for that? Yeah, let's go for an activation. It's been a long time since I've gone for a Goblin Machinist activation. Let's see what we reveal off of that. What was the? I'm trying to figure out what we revealed off of that, but I guess I'm not entirely sure if it was a creature or something else. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to tell us. Anyway, let's go ahead and we'll swing in with the Goblin Machinist at least, though. And then we'll go for that blind fire off the off Grenzo. What we can do is we can go for Lash Out, too, if we want to stop. Now, let's see if they can't get a little bit of land going. I'm okay with that. All right, swing in for 3, put them down to 21. And then anything else, it's going to be 1, 2, 3 that we can go for. Yeah, we'll go for that blind fire on our opponent next turn. That's the only downside about Goblin Machinist is I think that's part of the bug is that you don't really get to see what gets put on the bottom. So, and you think that they would they'd tell you in the chat, but if I'm missing it or something like that, yeah, activated ability and then they just got +3 all of a sudden. So we'll see if that ends up being an artifact or a creature on that one. Let's go and go for the Grenzo activation. This is gonna be 1, 2. Vessel of the Endless. Okay, so at least we're knowing there's non-land cards on the bottom. Yeah, because it says reveal, so it's like we should know exactly what's going down there. We're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4. We're sitting at 6 total mana. Um, we can simply just hard cast the Abyssal Horror if we want to. Or do we want to go for another activation? It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's do this. Let's go ahead and yeah, let's just go and pass the turn. Let's go for some Blind Fire Grenzo activations. Our opponent's going to have that Nissa's Pilgrim on top of their library. Search your library for 2 basics. Excuse me, that's not really going to help them out with any sort of blue mana. But yeah, I think I like going for 3 Grenzo activations. I think that's the problem. For some reason, Magic Online is having a hard time displaying stuff that gets put down at the bottom. Not entirely sure why, but it is what it is. Opponent's going to go for Nissa's Pilgrim. Search your library for 2 basic forests. Now, that will put 2 forests, and they're going to be able to put 1 in the battlefield, 1 in their hand. But the main thing is they're going to be able to shuffle up the top part of their library. Hopefully, they can find that blue source. So as soon as they do find that blue source, we'll definitely go in for Lash Out. Taking care of that. Aether Snatch, probably not the exact thing we wanted to see off of that one, and they do get the force down onto the battlefield. See if they're going to roll out anything else for the turn. We'll be able to go for that Grenzo activation. Okay, let's go and go for Grenzo. That's going to be 1, 2. Crystal Ball. Okay, let's go for another one. It always makes me feel like I'm doing like a Conjurer's Closet. Let's go for Phyrexian Tower and the Polluted Delta. Okay. It's like sometimes you get super lucky with these Grenzo flips, and then other times you just feel silly, kind of just ripping it like that. Yeah, I think I like going for all these blind fire activations. Now we can go for Viscera Seer, and that's going to add 2 mana to our mana pool. It's going to be like we stayed the same though. Let's just go and pass the turn. We have that Bloodstained Mire, and then we'll go for a few more activations. It'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that'll be 7. So then we're going to go and pass the turn. Yeah, that is, there we go. Opponent finally hits that island, so we'll be online for taking care of Lash Out on that Oracle, and then we'll be able to get rid of that. Berserker's Onslaught. Attacking creatures you control have double strike. But yeah, you know, if there was something on the line, like prize support or something like that, I definitely would have blasted Oracle a long time ago. But we're playing Commander, and I like to have fun in Commander, and I like to, it's no fun if your opponent's mana screwed and you just start going to town. You know, if something's on the line, you definitely go. You know, to tournament, if my opponent mulligans down to 4 or 5, I'm like, in my head, I'm like fist pumping, like, yes, yes, I'll take all the advantages. But in Commander, yeah, I don't mind. And get your stuff set up, and then let's kind of duke it out that way. So it looks like they got their stuff set up, at least with an island, we'll be good to go. I'll see what they're going to go for. We'll still probably end up going for that Lash Out on Oracle, but we'll see what's going to happen. Might see Surrak, probably not, though. I mean, with Surrak having, well, I'm going to have Flash. All right, let's go and get it down. Can't be countered. Creatures you control have haste. Yep, they're going to get that down. That's going to be Berserker's Onslaught. Okay, see if they're going to swing in with that Oracle. We'll definitely go for that Lash Out, and then we'll have that card revealed. I think with Lash Out, if I'm correct, it's not going to let us put the card on the bottom no matter what. It's just not even going to give us the option. So let's see. So we're going to go for Lash Out on Oracle. We revealed Gonti. And so now, yeah, Gonti went into the reveal zone. We should have the option to put it on the bottom if we want to or not. If a player wins, yeah, each reveals the top, then puts that card on the top or the bottom. So Gonti should go to the bottom where we can rip it off the bottom. But I know last time I played it didn't do that. So we'll see if if they've changed it somehow. Okay, never mind. I was wrong on that. Let's go ahead and put Gonti on the bottom. Let's go and go for a Grenzo activation to get an extra one. Oh, yes, there we go. And look at the top 4 cards of a target opponent's library. Let's go and grab that Lightning Greaves. I definitely want to get Grenzo protected. Let's go and crack the Bloodstained Mire. Let's go and grab a black or red source. Let's go and grab that Canaan Sloth. Enter the battlefield. Let's go ahead and go for the one more Grenzo activation. There we go. Phyrexian Tower. Oh, there we get into Kiki Jiki. Oh, but Grenzo's Grenzo is a, unfortunately, Grenzo is a legendary creature, so we can't start making copies of that. But see, this is what makes the deck fun sometimes, is that you can just blind fire into some really good creatures off of that. Okay, so we get down the Kiki Jiki, we got Gonti. Unfortunately, if Gonti wasn't legendary, well, then we wouldn't have Black Friday, but that would have been a lot of fun to get some of those copies going. Okay. Let's go and get the mountain down. Let's go and go for those Lightning Greaves from our opponent graciously gave to us. Or Gonti kind of reached in there and gave it to him. Let's go and get the Lightning Greaves onto Grenzo. And the reason the Goblin Machinist is still sticking around is because we did it at our end step. Is there anything that's really can be pretty high impactful? Enters the battlefield 5 counters on it. Yeah, let's go and go for a Newscraft Mob. We can be pretty aggressive with this particular one. And we can make a copy of it with Kiki Jiki. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Oh, ho, ho. Let's go and swing in. We're going to be swinging in with Gonti because if Gonti dies, don't attack Grenzo. No, so hold back. Hold back. And then, yeah, let's go and swing in for Gonti, and then we'll swing in with Newscraft Mob. Okay. Swinging with Gonti, it has Death Touch. If our opponent wants to trade with Surrak, that's perfectly fine. And if they want to trade with the new Scrap Mob, sure, go for it. We'll go and get that, at least get that extra pressure in there. Maybe our opponent was worried about some sort of damage from the hand. All right, we're going to get in for 2, put our opponent down to 19, and then anything else. Now we're going to go and pass the turn. But yes, this is pretty much what you want to be doing with Grenzo, is getting some good value creatures out there. There we go. Sacrifice Goblin Machinist, and then the new Scrap Mob. All right, anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn. Now, with the new Scrap Mob, enters the battle with 5/+1 counters on it. Whenever a player casts a spell, remove a +1 counter from it, you do create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. So what we can do is we can make a copy with Kiki Jiki now that we've completely tapped out for new Scrap, because whenever a player casts a spell, so it's really not going to matter. Unless they have some sort of board wipe at this point right now. Flash flying, enters the battlefield, deals 5 damage, immune on target creatures or players. All right, now good thing that we do have Grenzo is that if some of these creatures do hit the bin, we have the Epitaph Golem that we can start putting some of these creatures onto the bottom. But let's see how they're going to divide that 5 damage out. Probably going to see some on Kiki Jiki. That's going to be a lot of devotion. I mean, a lot of that damage being devoted to new Scrap Mob. There's going to be 3 damage to Gonti and then 2 damage to Kiki Jiki. Okay, that's fine. Let's go and put Gonti and then Kiki Jiki on the bottom. Now, we could have lived the dream with Kiki Jiki on New Scrap Mob, casting a bunch of the spells out of our hand to get a lot of zombies on the battlefield. But now the game's kind of started to have a little bit of fun. So I'm kind of liking this, kind of opening it up finally just a little bit. And let's see what we drawn to. Drawn to Volrath Stronghold. Okay, drawn to Volrath Stronghold. Let's go and get down Viscera Seer. There we go. I wasn't clicking for some reason. Let's go Viscera Seer. That's going to be another zombie onto the battlefield. Flash flying, and that's it. It's just simply a 5/5. Let's go ahead and scry that. Let's go for Volrath Stronghold. Let's put Kiki Jiki on top of our library. Let's go black and then red. Let's go ahead and scry the new zombie that entered the battlefield. Let's go and put that on the bottom. Let's go ahead and go for a Grenzo activation. That way we can have 2 extra things. We can go for Anger. Yeah, let's go and do this. Let's go ahead and sacrifice the zombie. Let's go ahead and blind fire. That way we can get Kiki Jiki back out. Let's go ahead and make a copy of the new Scrap Mob. And let's go ahead and go for, this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go ahead and get down Anger. There we go. That way we can end up with a few extra zombies onto the battlefield. There we go. That's what I was trying to set up this turn. Okay, so we get Kiki Jiki back. We get Anger. And if we sacrifice Anger, and we do have a mountain that's going to give everybody haste. Okay, let's go ahead and put that on. We'll leave that on top of our library for right now. All right, everybody's got haste. Let's go ahead and swing in. We're looking at swinging into a 5/5. Do we want to swing in with the crew on this one? Either way, we're going to have to swing in with that token. I'm just going to swing in with new Scrap, extra zombie, extra zombie. Yeah, that's fine, because we definitely want to leave new Scrap Mob up. Okay, coming across, it's going to be 6 coming across. They can chump block on 2 of them. We'll see at least the new Scrap Mob and one of the zombie tokens get blocked, but at least we'll deal a little bit extra damage off of that one. And we've got some better options too going forward outside of this. Now, if something does happen to the new Scrap Mob, we'll be able to at least bring it back out of the graveyard with Volrath Stronghold and use Viscera Seer to put it down at the bottom. So you can see where this deck is really interesting in that perspective, in that there's a lot of high power impact creatures, but you can also use your deck to your advantage. Something like Volrath Stronghold, put target creature card from your graveyard on top of your library. In fact, if we want to go for a bunch of Gonti triggers or something like that, we could definitely get that going. And then, in fact, if they cast one more spell, we're going to end up with a new Scrap Mob in the graveyard, so we can put it back and start going for those activations. Now, as far as what we're going to go for, we do have Kiki Jiki on the Horror. What we might end up doing is hard casting the Horror. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's still going to give us at least 3 mana activations for Grenzo. So we can go for Abyssal Horror, make a copy of it with Kiki Jiki. That's going to be them discarding 4 cards. I think we might, that's gotten to the, we're at turn 11, so we're at the point now to where, it's probably going to be a game for this particular game where we get down the Horror and start making a bunch of copies of it so we can really start putting some pressure on our opponent. Now, the Abyssal Horror, it does have flying, so it's going to give us a little bit of an advantage, but since it is just only a 2/2, we're not going to be able to get that much of a clock going. But as far as me goes, as far as the Grenzo game's concerned, we've had our fun. Definitely want to win, but win or lose at this point, we've had a pretty good little board state developed. Okay, opponent's going to be tapping out for 2 mana. Let's see what they're going to be going for. Ooh, opponent's going to go for Epic Experiment for 5. Yeah, I don't think we have any responses to that. Okay, that's interesting. It's going to take care of the new Scrap Mob. We'll still get an extra zombie for that. Let's see what entered the reveals. Oh, that is a beautiful flip. I will take that off an epic experiment. It's not beautiful for our opponent, but it's like it was letting us kind of cast it for a second. But yeah, that's what our opponent flipped. They flipped Forest, Island, Mountain, Gruul Turf, and Ugin, the Spirit Dragon. Yeah, that's always a bummer. That happens sometimes. Let's see if our opponent's going to swing in with the Hellkite or not. And thankfully, we're kind of in a spot now to where if our opponent swings with the Hellkite, we can go for a pretty nice alpha swing, especially with Anger in the graveyard. So it's kind of nice to have a big 5/5 dragon just holding back on blocking duties at this point right now. Okay, but yeah, more than likely we're going to go for the Abyssal Horror to really attack our opponent's hand, even though they may not honestly have much going on if that's kind of what they're going to be going for. Let's go and go for the Crystal Vein. Yeah, I think I like going for that. It's going to be 2 off the Crystal Vein. Let's go and get the Horror down. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then 1, 2. Okay. I'm going to go for the Horror. It's going to enter the battlefield. Target player is going to have to discard 2 cards. Situational, you might want to use it on yourself to get rid of some stuff out of the hand, but more than, we're going to be attacking our opponent's hand on this one. All right, so I'm going to discard 2 cards. Let's go ahead and make a copy of it with Kiki Jiki. Target player discards 2 cards. And then what we can do is we can... Do we have enough mana to Volrath Stronghold? It's going to be 1, 2. And once we sacrifice it and still pay enough mana, I think we can dump our opponent's hand. But yeah, let's go and do this. Let's go and swing in. We're going to go ahead and send the Horror in, Zombie, and then the copy of the Horror token. Swinging in. Yeah, I like that. All right. So we're going to be swinging in for, this is going to be 2, 4, 6, 8. We got 10 coming across. We'll see if they're actually going to block on the actual Abyssal Horror itself. All right. Getting for 6 is going to put our opponent down to 11. Now, if we sacrifice the Horror to the Phyrexian Tower, use that mana to put it on top, and then go for Viscera Seer? Actually, I think that's, yeah. So we go for sacrifice a creature with the Abyssal Horror to generate that extra mana. We'll have that 2 mana. Let's go ahead and Volrath Stronghold, put target creature, put the Abysmal Horror on top. Let's go ahead and scry. We'll sacrifice the copy of the token because we're going to have to put that on the bottom. And then let's go ahead and go for Grenzo, put the bottom card. Okay, there we go. That way we can finally attack their full hand. Okay, get rid of those last 2 cards. A little bit of a... not really here to dump our opponent's entire hand, but we're at turn 11, so we need to do as much as we can to make sure we can kind of go ahead and close the game out. So we're going to go for that Horde. That's going to be Clone and then Rite of Replication. So now they're going to be in a full top deck mode. We'll see if they're going to be able to get down. They are sitting at 11. Hopefully, will be enough to kind of go and close it out. But at least we do have that interaction of Phyrexian Tower, Abysmal Horror, going for that interaction and making sure they're going to discard the rest of the cards out of their hand. Okay, an opponent's simply going to go and pass the turn. So it's going to be 1 card in the hand. Let's see what they're going to go for. But, yeah, actually, I don't mind going for that Abyssal Horror. We can simply just make a copy of it, and we'll see what we're drawn to. Drawn to Foreboding Runes. Yeah, let's go and make a copy of the Horror. I'm okay with this. We're going to at least kind of force the issue of getting rid of whatever's in their hand. That is 1 card. Target player discards a card. Once they go for that, we can either go for some Blind Fires with, there we go. Puts it down to 0. And their last card in their hand was a Thought Reflection. Okay. Let's go and do this. Let's go and put target card from your graveyard. Let's go for that Newscraft Mob. It's going to be a really big creature for us to go for. 1, 2. And let's go ahead and sacrifice... I guess let's go and sacrifice Goblin Machinist. It's just a 0/5. Let's go and put that on the bottom. Let's go for a Grenzo activation. It's going to be 1, 2. And then let's see if we can't get as much value out of that as possible. It does have haste. Yeah, let's simply just go and get the Foreboding Runes down. Nope, not going to reveal a swamp off of that. And then let's go ahead and that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. That is a 3/5. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, let's go and push in on this one. We're going to hold off on Viscera Seer. Don't attack. Abysmal Horror, Newscraft Mob Zombie, and then the copy of the Abysmal Horror. All right, there we go. We're going to be stringing. That's going to be 7, 9, and then that's going to be exactly lethal coming across at this point right now. So let's go and push across, and then with Phyrexian Tower, we can get into a scenario where we sacrifice the Horror or the copy of the Horror to generate a little bit extra mana, get the Epitaph Golem down to have a little bit extra value off of that. Okay, opponent's going to go for Surrak and then the Dragon on the Horror and the Newscraft Mob. Yeah, we're okay with that. Both of those creatures will hit the graveyard. We're going to get in for 4. Let's put those in the graveyard. It doesn't really matter what order we put those in. Okay, then let's go and get down the... let's go and get the Epitaph Golem down. That way we can kind of get out from underneath this weird little shenanigans. Actually, there we go. Let's go and go for a sacrifice a creature. We'll sacrifice that copy of the Horror token. We're going to have to sacrifice it anyway. Let's go for the Epitaph Golem. Be 1 and 2. There we go. Get him down, and then anything else we're going to go and pass the turn. Okay. Now, as far as next turn goes, we'll see what they draw into, but at least we're going to be able to. We can put 2 cards on the bottom. We'll look at Gonti coming across and Newscraft Mob. It's going to be a 5/5, and the opponent did get a land down for the turn. Wonderful, so we don't have to really worry about that. I'll have to pay 1 off of that. So now, at this point right now, that's going to be 1, 2. Basically, we're looking at about 4 mana to get a creature back out. So we've got more than enough mana, so we can go for Newscraft Mob and the Horror. Actually, we might end up going simply just for Gonti, because we really want to overwhelm our opponent as far as getting stuff going for them. Okay, opponent's going to kick it back over. So at this point, we just basically need to get 7 lethal in the air, or at least on the ground. So we'll see what we're going to do. So we draw into Swamp. It's going to get the Swamp down. And we can still make a copy of the Newscraft Mob to really put some pressure on our opponent. So let's go for that Golem. Let's put the Newscraft Mob on the bottom. That's going to be 1, 2. And then we'll go for the Grenzo activation to put the Newscraft Mob back out. And then we'll make another copy of it. It'll be 5/5 with haste. At this point, they'll still be able to chump block on 2 of our creatures, so this is 3/5. Yeah, so we're right at 5 total attack power at our opponent if they chump block, depending on how it goes. So once we go for the Golem activation or bringing back Newscraft Mob, make a copy with the Kiki Jiki, and then bring back the Abyssal Horror, that'll be more than enough for us to kind of swing across. Okay, and so we put that card on the bottom. It's going to go for Grenzo. It's going to be 1, 2. Get the Abyssal Horror, the Newscraft Mob. Let's go and go for, put the Horror on the bottom too. That's going to be 1, 2. Let's go for the Grenzo activation. That's going to be Canyon. And then that one. Target player is going to discard 2 cards. I guess technically we could have chosen ourselves off of that one. Let's go for make a copy of the Newscraft Mob. And then let's go ahead and go for 2 more. There's no more creatures that we can. Well, yeah, we can get Gonti going, but we're not going to have enough for that. Since it's tap, we'll go ahead and sacrifice Kiki Jiki to get that 2 mana. That way we can get Gonti coming back out. Yeah, there we go. All right, so we're going to put Gonti on the bottom of our library. We're going to go for 2 more. Now look at the top, exile the top 3 cards. Excuse me, top 4 cards. We'll go and grab the, we'll just go and grab Bribery on that. There we go. Okay. So now we have a full board on this one. I'm not going to be casting that spell at this point right now. And let's go and swing with the whole crew. All right, so it's going to be, yeah, should be more than enough lethal on that one. They can only do 2 blockers, and they'll have more than enough coming across right now. But yeah, you can really see where Grenzo is a lot of fun like this. You can get some good stuff going, especially when you get stuff like Kiki Jiki, and you're making copies of the Abyssal Horror. That was a play that I typically don't go for, but once you get to about turn 10 in Commander, you've got to close the game out somehow, and attacking our opponent's hand with a bunch of copies of the Horror is definitely a good way to go and get that done. So, if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.